Hey gang, and welcome to another Animal Crossing video. I'm Crossing Channel, and it's that time that you've all been waiting for. The datamine for Animal Crossing New Horizons 1.11 is here, and we have some fantastic information which has been shared on dodocodes.com, which I'll link in the video description. Like with the last update, I'm going to go over some of the most significant things that we've seen in the datamine for the latest Animal Crossing update. This is very exciting, so let's check out all that it has to offer and go over all the details that you need to know about this update. So of course, the thing that I know you're all wanting to learn about 100% is Brewster and the cafe. Now, you might remember in the last datamine for Animal Crossing New Horizons way back in April for the 1.10 update, we did actually see that Brewster and the cafe, certain things related to him had reappeared in the game's code despite being hidden in previous updates. So that was really interesting to see, and I think many people maybe saw that as kind of maybe just a little bit of a fluke, but of course many of us saw that and thought, well, actually now it's even more hopeful that we could see Brewster happen sometime in the future. And I'm happy to say that in this latest update, the 1.11 update, that code is still there, and they've made even more additions to it this time around, which I think basically says, yeah, Brewster definitely will happen at some point in the future. Now, the thing about datamines is there's no guarantee that the content will ever release, but when you see Nintendo actively working on new stuff for this feature this late into the game, it's obvious that it's not scrapped content. I think that much is clear. We just don't know when it will come out. But this message from DodoCodes.com says, there is a new progress event called NPC Memory Talk Progress Museum Built Cafe. This could finally mean the cafe is coming. Camera settings for the cafe were added in 1.10, as I mentioned, and then modified slightly in this 1.11 update. And that's definitely good news, because very easily this update could have hidden all of those references. You know, Nintendo hid the references to Brewster when they first appeared, so it's good that these are still appearing in the game's code. It makes it feel like good progress is being made on this feature. And for those of you who are kind of hoping that Brewster will still appear as his own standalone store, I think it's safe to assume that now that is not going to be happening. As far as I can tell, there are no mentions anywhere of Brewster having his own standalone building. He will be in the museum. I know a lot of people might not like that if they played Animal Crossing New Leaf, but this is actually where Brewster had the roost in Wild World and City Folk. So if anything, that's where he's kind of been all along. So yeah, definitely very interesting. I know this is the one that people wanted to learn about the most, and that's actually not all to do with the cafe in Animal Crossing New Horizons. There's actually more, which is really exciting. This one was datamined by Stony, who's in the Animal Crossing New Horizons Discord server, and they noticed that Rover has an unused flow related to the cafe. It basically means that this flow can choose one of 4 lines of dialogue randomly. Now, the dialogue hasn't actually been added in yet, but they've added in this kind of, I guess the easiest way I can explain it is sort of functionality for Rover related to the cafe. Now, this makes a lot of sense when you think about it. In all of the previous Animal Crossing games, I believe, special characters would appear in the roost on occasion and you could talk to them. This happened in New Leaf, it definitely happened in Wild World, and I'm pretty sure it happened in Wild World with characters that you couldn't meet in that game as well, which was pretty cool, because obviously some didn't make it into the game full time, as far as I remember. So it's definitely really cool that it seems like special characters will appear in the roost and you'll be able to talk to them there. This is definitely something that I foresaw coming, and I actually mentioned this in my How the Roost Could Work video. It just kind of made sense for me to use these characters in the roost. I feel like a lot of characters like Harriet and Katrina and Rover won't see full-time appearances in the game, but they could appear in the roost and we could get unique interactions with them there. So this is definitely really exciting, and it's great to see progress made here. It's great to see new stuff pop up, because I think for so long we've just been waiting for a more significant update. I'm not out here trying to claim that the roost is going to fix the game or make it, like, you know, fix all these problems that people have with it, but there's no denying that we really do now need a more significant update, and it is clear that behind the scenes Nintendo is working on it. I really don't see how this could be interpreted as scrapped code when they're still doing stuff with it. That being said, even though my feeling in my gut is really strong that this update will happen, you still have to be cautious about it because this is Nintendo we're talking about, the most confusing company in the world. So I just thought it was nice to mention all this stuff. It is really exciting, and of course there's a lot more to go over in this Datamine as well that isn't related to the Roost and the Cafe that may actually surprise you. Now let's take a look at the new items which are introduced within this update. These are basically all the ones that we expected to see. There's actually quite a lot of variety when it comes to the new food items that you can get from the Fireworks Festival, and they're really cool. Now apparently you can actually trip holding some of these items, but I tried this out myself and it didn't seem to work, so I'm not sure if that's actually a thing, but you guys should try it when you get a hold of them and let me know if it works. There's of course the new seasonal items which will be coming throughout August and September, and then like I mentioned, all the new food items. I really like these. I believe the popsicles originally were actually data mined alongside the drink as well, the boba tea. So yeah, that's really cool, and I'm happy that we're finally getting more food items. Even if this probably isn't the kind of content that you want to see right now, I get that, I totally do. But personally, I am happy to see more food items. I wish it was alongside a bigger update. I wish, of course, I'd rather have a bigger update than a smaller one, but I'm still happy to see it, and it's nice that we've got so much variety. I mean, there's so many prizes for Crazy Red's raffle and the fireworks event now. That event definitely has a lot for you to obtain, so especially for newer players, that's really good. But here's a surprising thing. You've probably seen most of these items already, but what about the items that Nintendo didn't tell us about? Well, there's actually quite a few of those as well. Now, this was really surprising, but it looks like Nintendo has gone and added Halloween content ahead of time into this update. Now, we don't know if this is an accident or if it's something they've intentionally done, but it does kind of seem like they wanted this update to include stuff leading on to Halloween. The interesting thing is, though, Nintendo did not mention this at all in their announcement, yet they did announce events months ahead when they announced the April update. So this is really strange to me that they wouldn't mention this. That's why it does kind of feel like a mistake in a way. And the fact that they've really only added 3 new items, with one of them just being a holdable item, it kind of feels like maybe they would actually add more and we don't have the full picture yet. I do think that we probably will see an update sometime in either late September or October. I know there's a lot of people who are going to see these Halloween items and think to themselves, oh no, now we're not going to see an update until like November or something. I'm not sure I buy that, but that may be true. I don't know at the moment. I'm really hoping that isn't the case. I think that would be a big shame if we had to wait that long for the next update. But I guess if it is a significant update we get next and it doesn't just update Turkey Day and Christmas, I think people, would maybe be able to forgive the wait a bit more, but I would rather that not be the case, to be honest with you. There's also new seasonal items, and this will kind of lead you on more to kind of maybe think why this might be a mistake. So these seasonal items that you see, as far as I know, they are scheduled to appear for events that happen in November, one of them happening as late as November 15th. So why would Nintendo add these in this far ahead of time? It's really strange, honestly. The only thing I could possibly think of is they just added these just as a little sort of fail-safe if they need them. I really don't know. Because surely there would be new seasonal items introduced in October, right? You'd think so anyways. Nintendo is obsessed with adding these new seasonal items, so why would they leave out October? So, it does kind of feel like we may still see an update in October that could bring back more Halloween stuff and, actually reveal what's going to happen with the event. I'm certain that at least if we don't see another update itself, like, the whole going and updating your game, we'll probably see another announcement from Nintendo closer to Halloween about these new items and the changes. The cool thing, by the way, is apparently all 3 of these can actually be crafted. We haven't seen new DIY recipes in ages, so I'm actually really happy about that. It's kind of sad that I'm happy about 3 new DIY recipes, but hey, that's Animal Crossing New Horizons for you, isn't it? That's show business. Now, one more interesting thing that Stoney noticed is there is an unused type of approach villagers can do called Approach Fortune and links to unused event flows. This, to me, is incredibly interesting, and Stoney mentions what you're all probably thinking. Is it related to the luck feature and fortunes that we previously saw with Katrina? And this potentially could be. I do think you could see your villagers maybe give you fortunes that would affect your luck throughout the day. Now, personally, I'm just going to be a little bit speculative here, but I do think we're going to see a villager interactions update. We've known that from data mines, there is this feature where villagers can visit your home, something from previous Animal Crossing games, so that's definitely going to come back at some point, and I imagine they'll do other interactions as well. Now, like how villagers give you reactions in the game, I could definitely see your villagers giving you fortunes as well, you know, running up to you and kind of saying, oh wow, you better wear these sneakers or you might have bad luck today, that's what I heard. I don't think Katrina is coming back. Honestly, I don't. She's in the Nintendo Switch Online app. I really don't think she's coming back, but she could come back to the Roost, like I mentioned, which would definitely be cool. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about these new discoveries? Are you excited for the potential of some bigger updates in the future? And do you think we will finally see the Roost? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you made it to the end, be sure to comment Bobsgang. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on those channel notifications for more videos.